So, Laurent, the floor is yours.
Yes, good morning. I see already some messages in the chat. Good morning to all. Thank you very much for joining this webinar on the Africa Initiative 3. This is actually the last such event because the closing dates, the deadlines for applications start tomorrow and will spread until the end of October. So we wanted to open this opportunity to potential applicants to ask questions, last minute question you may have before you participate and you push the button applying for some of this call. So I'm here together with my two colleagues from Euraccess Africa, Dr. Ahmed Malel, based at the in Sousse in Tunisia, and Professor Yedirfana Shetaj Mekonnen from Addis Ababa University, based in Addis. I'm Laurent Bochereau. I worked at the delegation of the European Union to the African Union. And today we will not present all the calls. You know, there are 24 calls for a total budget earmarked of 500 million euros. So we don't want to reopen the presentation on those, but we want to remind you of what has been done to promote the call, the various webinars which are accessible online, the various guidelines that exist, and different ways you can seek information and find partners through Euraccess Africa, first of all, but also through the network of national contact points who have been appointed in each of the African Union countries. So with this, I would again thank you very much to participate, to wish you the best. And I would like to pass the floor to my colleagues from Euraccess Africa. We'll give you a quick reminder of what's available for participating in the call, and then we will start taking questions. So please put your question in the chat. We received question in advance, and we will take some of them to start. We may give the floor to some of you if there are some question we are not sure we fully understand. We want this to be interactive, and those questions that you may have that we are not able to answer today, that may happen, we will do it on an individual basis following the webinar. So with this, I would like to pass the floor to, I think, Ahmed starting. Ahmed, Dr. Ahmed
Okay,
Malel. Yes.
thanks a lot, Laurent, for this introduction. I think me and the team of Your Access Africa, we worked hard and many to organize many webinars. And today it's the last webinar dedicated to Africa Initiative 3. So first of all, I want to put this code. Please scan this QR code in order to ask your questions. This is the link to Slido. We'll try to see to read all questions and try to give some answers for you, me and my colleague Fana, of course. And we will try to make an article news for you to put FAQ, all a good document you can based on in order to have a great idea about Africa Initiative 3 and how to get the opportunity from this initiative. So just don't forget, this is the YouTube channel of Euraccess Africa, and you can see all recording video and all recording sessions related to Africa Initiative 3. And you can watch it. Don't hesitate to contact us. You can just use Google. After that, you will see the Euraccess Africa channel. So, before giving the floor to my colleague Fana, I want to share again my screen to see how to find the call of proposal related to Africa Initiative 3 and to see how, for example, we can just take a call topic and we see how the interaction related to this call topic and how many partner, the number of partners they're looking to be involved in this call topic. So I want to stop sharing my screen. I want to share again. One. Okay. Okay, this is Google and funding and tenders portal. This is the main portal. We can find all call topics in this portal, EU funding and tenders portal. We can click on calls of proposals like that. And of course, we do just we should select the period 21-27, the Horizon Europe, and no need to click and close it. And when we click on all filters, we will have in cross-cutting priority, we will have Africa. Okay. When we click on Africa, we have 24 view results. You will see now we are connected with the 24 call topics related to Africa Initiative 3. Okay, just I want to say that, for example, when we take this example, Gen AI for Africa, this is the call topic. When we see here, you will see the partner search. When we click on view edit, you will see that more than 102 partners from the world, they express the interest to be involved in this call topic. So this is a way to see the interest about a call topic related to Africa Initiative 3. Waiting for your questions for today. We'll try to give some answers. And of course, we'll see all questions. And let's see, I will try to see Slido if we have already some questions. Pana, I can give you the floor now. If you want to introduce some words, please do that.
I think you could have continued with the questions, or maybe actually you'll see those questions submitted through. So I can introduce myself. I hope Access Africa community know me, as already explained by colleagues and also Dr. Lauren. My name is Edelfana Satargi Makonnen. I'm one of the regional representatives to Euraccess Africa. I work along with my colleague, Dr. Ahmed Malal. He's based in Tunisia. I'm based in Addis Ababa. I'm also working as an associate professor at Addis Ababa University. Today is a very special program that actually with the intent or with the request from Dr. Laurent to organize this very important session so that the potential applicants can get valuable information, some skills, some answers for their questions before the deadline is really approaching. So I think this week for stage 2 is the first deadline. And for stage 1 applications, mid-September is starting for the deadline for some of the calls in Africa Initiative 3, but it continue up till the end of this year for some other calls again under Africa Initiative 3. So it's really a good opportunity for all the potential applicants to ask questions, and we also try to respond those questions and you get some valuable information and valuable techniques to go through calls. If you are still not yet try to apply, as already Ahmed showed you, EU funding and tender portal. We can also give you a lot of other information from our experience, from our expertise. I'm also happy that Dr. Laurent Boucheroux is a minister, counselor at the EU delegation to Africa Union. He will definitely share his experience. He has a lot of experience in this Africa Initiative and all of this EU funding opportunity programs. So feel free to ask questions. I think some of you already asked us if you can ask in another language. I would say you can ask in French, as Dr. Lauren and also Dr. Ahmed can respond in that, and Arabic language. So I think it's also free to ask these languages. So I think let's see how many questions we go through Slido.
Yes,
Otherwise, we can start
we,
with frequently asked questions.
we get already nine
we have.
questions now, until now, 9 questions.
Very good, very good.
Yes, I will try to zoom out in my screen just to see if can you see my screen? Can you see the questions or not? No. Okay. I will try
No.
to. I will try to share again.
Okay. Can you display them,
And
Ahmed?
now, what do you think? We can see my
Yes, now
screen?
we can see.
Yes, nice. Okay. We have received a lot of questions. As Fana mentioned that you can ask your questions in English, in French, or in Arabic, so don't hesitate with that. And okay, we can start together. It's interactive session, so Laurent, Fana, or me can just see the questions, and we can start with the first one. Where the call? We put already the link related to all core topics related to Africa Initiative 3. And I think, yes, I put it here. And okay, how can we benefit from this initiative as institutions of higher learning or higher education? Yes, it's a basic question. I think we can benefit because it's good to participate in Horizon Europe projects. It's research and innovation actions, and we will learn a lot. We will try to make a lot of impact with such projects. We will try to get funds in order to be able to take and to make a lot of activities written in the proposal. So what else?
If I may add on
Yeah.
this question specifically, when we look at the breakdown of beneficiaries in Africa, several hundreds organizations have been funded so far. The majority are universities. So this is not a program on higher education. It's a program for research and innovation, but the majority of the beneficiaries are universities and institutions of high learning. There's funding through the Imai School of Kaku Reaction for doctoral. So that's not part of the call itself, because this call, Africa Initiative 3, is about 24 topics for which we want to support consortia of research organization, universities, industries, startup companies, depending on the topics. But definitely entities, universities in education and higher education learning institutions are most welcome to participate. Beyond the Erasmus Plus that you may have known and applied to, this is more focused on research innovation, Horizon Europe. Over to you, Fana or Ahmed, for another question.
Okay. This next question: does the rule about justifying EU benefit apply if exploitation happens outside the EU, even through the Gen AI call states startups in Africa must benefit? It's a good question. Can see. What do you think, Laurent? This is the question.
Well, again, you need to read carefully, topic by topic, on the expected benefits, what is expected, because that's what the evaluators who will review the applications will check. They will not go back to the generic documents on the Horizon Europe, because there are a lot of documents, but they will very much focus on the specific wording for each topic. So that's what you need really to apply. So I don't have the wording in front of me, but clearly we want benefits in Africa because it's generative AI for Africa. And there are 4 areas which have been listed for this call, and it clearly states that we want startup companies. But there will be also a couple of European partners as part of the proposal. This is a requirement for this call. So having some kind of EU benefits is also expected. So you need to be able to explain what these EU benefits will be when the majority of the benefits which can be expected from such a topic will lie in Africa. That's my answer, but feel free to comment. We had a lot of questions on this topic, which is which has attracted a lot of interest. There will be several projects selected,
Yes.
and we expect many proposals. I don't know
Yes,
whether
exactly.
Professor Fana or Dr. Ahmed want to add specifically.
Yeah, I want to add that the impact must be in Africa and of course in Europe. So because it's a consortium, so we have many partners from Europe, many partners from Africa, and together they work under this common topic in order to take a lot to make a lot of activities, and I think we get benefit as from us institutions from Africa or institutions from Europe. So this is for me from Gen AI for Africa is not only for Africa, not only for Europe, it's for both Africa and Europe. Okay, we have. Is the call open to all African higher education institutions, those that we were not part of the phase 1 and 2? I think Africa Initiative 1, Initiative 2. I think yes, of course, yes, it's open. And don't forget, you need to justify your participation. Your expertise must be justified in the when you write, we prepare the proposal, the coordinator or the lead of the project, when he decide to add you as a partner, and you will be able to take a lot of work, I think work package, for example, or some activities in the project. You need to justify your expertise meets the activities. This is the condition, and of course, it's yes. Okay. How can we? Yes, please, Fana.
One questions from the chat. It says how many partners we can have per each project. I think this is also a very important question. As you know, in most of the Horizon Europe projects, you need to have at least 3 entities from European Union member states or from the associated countries. But when it comes to the Africa Initiative 3, or in general for Africa Initiative, as the name also indicates, you need to involve at least 3, in most cases, not on all cases, but in most cases, at least 3 entities from Africa. From higher education, from research center, from any legal entities, you need to bring on this consortium. So the minimum is at, I would say, 6. 3 from Africa, 3 from EU or associated country for Africa Initiative when it comes. Some actually required African participation, some encouraged African participations. But I think for precise answer, you need to go through the call for proposal in the EU funding and tender portal so that you will see the requirements of these partners and participating institutions. So I think this is also a very good question, but as far as this minimum requirement is satisfied, you are free to add any institution, any number of institutions from Africa, from Europe, or globally. But the minimum requirement should be satisfied. And beyond that, it's up to the project, it's up to the consortium to add number and type of organizations that you involve in the project.
Of course, yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
you can add, my colleagues can add also on this.
Yes, some of the 24 topics, there is a legal requirement for having at least 3 entities based in Africa. For others, it's more an encouragement for the consortium to include African partners. So in this case, it could be only 1, it could be 2, 3 more, or it could be actually none, because legally a proposal would be eligible without, but it would be a pity because we are here to encourage African participation. So we are reaching out to African potential partners, but we also encourage on the European side the project coordinator or the proposal coordinator to look for partners in Africa. This is why it's important for you to be seen either as previous participant in a project, could be Erasmus, or it could be a previous Horizon 2020 or Horizon Europe, but it could be for you going through the participant portal, finding a topic of interest where you have something to offer. And there is a functionality called Partner Search where you can present yourself, express interest, and coordinator may contact you to participate in the proposal, and then you start negotiating what you will do for what kind of money.
Thank you, Laurent. I think it's also a good idea. Maybe my colleague Ahmed, if you can go through the partner search in the Euraccess and also EU funding intended portal, because I see many questions asking us how can get researchers, collaborator in Europe or globally, not only researcher as well as organizations. So Euraccess have a special section for this to help researcher who would like to apply, who would like to participate in this initiative. So I think we can go through very quickly in the Euraccess portal as well as in the EU funding intended portal how to assist in searching for partners.
Yes, can you see my screen, Fana?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, this is Euraccess. When you click on Euraccess portal, we have many options, of course, and I invite you to create your account for free. And of course, we can connect with many opportunities. And what do you think here? You see, for example, when you find jobs and opportunities, but when we click, for example, here, click on organizations and universities, if you like that, and search. For example, we can put health, okay, just as a keyword and search. Let's wait. We see that more than 745 organizations, and we'll be able to connect with a lot. Of course, we can select the country, for example, without a keyword. Okay, just put, for example, I'm looking to connect with some partner from Germany. Okay, for example, and apply filters. You'll see that, and in Germany, with the keyword health, we have 54 organizations. Let's just eliminate health and keep only Germany. You'll see more than 3,384 organizations and universities already there in Euraccess portal. You can connect with, as you see, of course, when you click, for example, this higher education institution, you will click, you will be able to see the contact person email, some research feeds, about, of course, the website, the location, and of course, prepare yourself, and you can connect with this university and express your interest to make some collaboration in the future, not only related to Africa Initiative 3. We have a lot of opportunities. Horizon Europe, we have in 2026 and 2027, a lot of topics coming soon, and you will be able to connect with organization. Of course, this is one way, only one way in Euraccess, but there is other ways to look for partners. We can use the NCP tool, funding and tenders. Okay. I click on the EFTA portal, waiting for the portal. Okay, I need to refresh.
Ahmed, there was a question about how to find your NCP. So you may also want.
Yes,
to show
exactly.
how this function works. Unfortunately, there are not national contact points in all African Union countries. We invited all countries to do so, but some countries have not done it. We're reminding them, and some of the NCPs have been recently renewed. So we encourage you, when there is one, to establish contact, especially if you're preparing a proposal, to seek advice and help.
Okay, let's wait. Just I'm waiting for it take time, but I can change the. Okay, let's stop sharing my screen. I will share again. You can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay, let's unpause this. Let's see. Okay, I'm connected now with the portal. We can click on guidance on documents like that. We'll see help desk and support.
Funding. Under funding.
Yes, and of course you should click. Okay, you should only try to repeat. Okay, we have this help desk. We'll put the link into the discussion. First of all, we need to click on funding and the period and the program. It's Horizon Europe. Let's put Horizon Europe like that. Okay, we have the last option is national contact points for Horizon Europe. When you click here, you'll be able to connect with with more than 734 national contact points in the world. Please, for example, you look for a partner from Italy. In the thematic of food, we have two keywords, the country Italy and the thematic is food. So let's click on member state, click on Italy, only Italy. Okay, this is the first click. The second click, it's food. Okay, let's see food. We have now two results, and we have Miriam and Flavia from Italy, and of course we can contact them. Only that.
And you can show, because I think the questions were how to find my own NCP. I saw that there were several people from Senegal. You can look if.
Okay.
So it's not member states.
Okay. Not member states, but you see we have associate countries or countries in the processes to association or third countries. So when you click in third countries, we see if we have from Senegal or not. Okay, we'll see. There is actually no NCPs in the portal from Senegal, actually.
Nigeria, please. I also saw one question.
Yes,
Nigeria.
yes, we can see Nigeria. Okay, and we have 10. 10, it means we have 10 NCPs in Nigeria now. And okay, food. Okay, don't forget, I need to select all. Okay, let's repeat. We have 65 NCPs in Nigeria. Just, for example, I want to connect with the NCP related to, let's see, climate, energy, and mobility. We have 3 NCPs in Nigeria. Okay, and I have the contact email. I can contact them. Of course, we have this energy commission for Nigeria, and we have the telephone number. Of course, let's repeat for Senegal. Just I want to see if we have from Senegal or not. Let's see. No, I think no. Actually, no. But we have for Kenya, yes.
Kenya
Yes,
also ask it.
Yes, we have Kenya, and we have 6 NCPs in Kenya. The NCP coordinator, Jacob, and Vincent, we have the contacts. Of course, I can use the contact NCP. I can express my interest if I have already a call topic, and just I say that can you help me? Can you assist me? Because as you see the NCP services, you see guidance on choosing relevant Horizon Europe topics and types of action, advice on administrative procedures and contractual issues, training and assistance in proposal writing, and assistance in partner search. This is the main mission of the NCPs. So don't hesitate to contact your NCPs, but you are free. You can contact any NCPs in Europe and any NCPs in the platform. Of course, if you want to look for a partner from some countries, don't hesitate to contact NCPs. I think, what do you think, Fana? If you have some questions?
Yeah, maybe can we show them how they can be part of the ongoing project, for example, just expressing their interest in the specific call topic. I think just here if you go on the funding on top, funding, yes, then click it and see how
Yes,
they
just
can their
we can
interest
see,
in
yes, we can choose,
specific.
for example, yes, we can choose,
Exactly.
for example, this one. Usually, we use the topic ID, the topic call ID, in order to exchange between partners. But we have this tool in the platform. You see, for example,
Yeah.
for this one, more than 80 partners, and you see the expertise offers and the expertise request. We have more than 115 for expertise offers. Of course, for each organization of them, you can just click on them. You can see what it's the organization profile. For example, you can click this. You see the organization profile. For example, this is candidate, I think, from Greece, and yes, Cyprus. This organization had more than 73 projects. It means that this organization has a lot of experience. I invite you to connect, to get in touch with this organization. You'll see the type of
Okay.
roles. For example, they already coordinate 11 projects and they participate as a beneficiary more than 61. And you'll see it's FP7, Erasmus Plus, Horizon. There's one Horizon. There's a Horizon 2021 project. So they have a lot of experience. And of course, you can connect and can see the project list, of course. And you can see the project list not only in the funding and under portals, but in Cordis portal. You have two platforms. You have Cordis and you have the EFTA portal. And you can see this, for example, we can contact the projects. And don't forget, Fana, that we can use the FTOP to find a partner. We have a tool not related to
Yes.
call topics. Okay, for each call topics, we have a lot of partners. They express their interest to be involved in this call topic. But in general, we can use the partner search. For example, I'm based in Tunisia, but I want to connect with a partner from Kenya. Okay, just okay. I can keep Horizon Europe. I want to connect with the organizations, not the persons, and I can select the country. I put Kenya, for example. Okay, and look, we have 94 organizations already in the portal. And when you click, when you see this, for example, organization, they have 6 projects. This one, 2 projects, 8 projects. Okay, 1 project. For example, I'm looking to how to be connected with an organization. They have such experience, so I can select, for example, look for this one, Mombasa, this Technical University of Mombasa. Okay, they have 4 projects, and they have 2 Horizon Europe, 1 Erasmus Plus, and 1 Erasmus. You see the project. Okay. Looking, for example, to we can, for example, select not Kenya, but I want to not all filters. You see, we have a lot of filters cross country, city, organization type. For example, I'm looking to connect with the small or medium-sized enterprise. Okay, view results. Okay, but I want to connect with a partner from South Africa. Yeah, I have 11 already. 11. Uh, so small or medium-sized enterprise. For example, I can click on it. You will see that 2 clicks. I have the organization. I have the PIC number, the PIC number, and of course I can contact the organization. But before that, I need to sign in. Okay. Okay. Let's try to contact the organization. Okay. I'm connected with my account. Now I'm connected. Okay. That's it. Just on my name. Okay. I put for example, from Tunisia. I am the head of or the director of this organizations or University of Sousse. Or I want to enter in contact with you in order to see how we can collaborate in such called topics in Horizon Europe. And you can put the topic ID. This is a way to connect directly with a partner in Africa, in Europe, and it depends of you. But I need, of course, to you should, of course, have an account, and you should prepare yourself before be in touch with this organization in general. So, Fana.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this is the most important thing. What actually my colleague was trying to explain, that you need to have a login account, an EU login account that can help you to enter both into your access portal as well as in EU funding and tender portal. If you have the login account for one, you can use it for the other one. So that helps you to express your interest in a particular called topics, just like what you have seen before. As an individual researcher, if you are also representative of an institution, organization, you can also express the organization interest to involve, to be part of that particular call of topic. Or in your access, if you provide your profile, your organization profile, you will be visible. That will be very easy for accessing your personal profile or your organization, so that you can be part of with the other people, other consortium who are trying to search partners and apply for one of these called topics. So I think for your visibility to be actively involved in similar call topics, we suggest you provide your individual expertise, your profile, as well as your organization profile, both in your access platform and in EU funding and tender portal. That definitely helps you actively involved in different programs. So maybe I have seen one question from Dr. Maruf Sani. He's also an MSA contact
NCP.
person, NCP in Nigeria. So he asking us, maybe Dr. Lauren could reflect on that. The difference between single stage and two-stage proposals, the criteria and maybe the duration of the results announcement or something similar, something like that. What are really the basic difference between stage one and two-stage called proposals?
Well, thank you. But first, let me complement the presentation earlier about the partner search, which is a tool to find partners in general that you can interact with outside also writing a proposal, being connected to an existing project of interest to you and accessing some of the results that are put in the public domain. For the call that we have now, Horizon Europe Work Program 2025, 24 specific topics targeting cooperation with Africa. For each of these calls specifically, like the one on generative AI for Africa that was mentioned earlier, you can express your interest specifically for that call to be part of the proposal. And you can explain what you would do as an organization if you are part of the proposal. But you can also look at the others who have expressed interest to see whether you want to contact them in case they are part of the proposal. And potential coordinators have the possibility to look for a partner through the partner search. So there are two functions. One is apply to be a participant, or for coordinator, look for partners to build. So this is even more interesting because you can see among those preparing proposal what kind of expertise they're looking for. And if you think you have that kind of expertise, you can directly submit an expression of interest. You can contact him openly, or you can just contact him privately, directly, and express who you are and express your interest to open discussions about joining a proposal being formed. So remember, we are close to the deadline. So for some of the deadlines, it may be too late because the consortium are fine-tuning the final stage of the proposal writing, and they're not really looking for partners at this stage. So there will be other opportunities. We will launch the 4th Africa initiative towards the end of the year. So all the time you spend trying to understand how to navigate the participant portal today, even if it doesn't pay off with this particular Africa Initiative 3, it's time that you can use. It's an investment for being able to participate in future call, either the African Initiative, which are consortia formed to answer specific questions. So it's a problem-driven type of research. But there are other calls which are more open, where you can come up with your own research interest. We don't have time to present them there, but they are also advertised through Euraccess Africa and through the portal, through the NCP, like we heard from the NCP from Nigeria. The question was specifically about stage 1, stage 2. There are actually only 2 topics, if I'm not wrong, where we are using this 2-stage approach. The goal of doing this is to avoid having too many proposals and having so a lot of money wasted in preparing proposals that will not be selected. So when we talk about the 2-stage proposals, they are in the cluster 6 on the food, biotechnology, environment, bioeconomy topic. And there we want a proposal of about 10 pages, which are much less developed. The proposal need to address the objective of the call, the scope, expected results, make sure you fill all the expectation in terms of consortia eligibility rules. You can, then there will be a review of the stage 1 proposals, which is usually rather quick. So a couple of weeks, 1 or 2 months later, there will be a feedback for those pre-selected who are then asked to prepare a full proposal, like for the other applications, for all the other calls, which is a bit more complete in terms of information. And the list of partners need then to be complete. So there is a possibility between stage 1 and stage 2 to add a couple of participants. Tentative list of participants need to be indicated in stage 1, and obviously the coordinator of the proposal normally remains the same of the stage 2. We cannot change completely the proposal between stage 2 and stage 1. So, but there is the possibility to look for partners. And therefore, if you express an interest for joining this topic, if a coordinator selected after stage 1 is still looking for partners, he may be interested to contact you after the deadline for stage 1. So there is this possibility to strengthen the consortium once proposal for stage 1 have been selected. But normally, the consortium should be more or less constituted at stage 1. We cannot change completely the consortium between stage 1 and stage 2. So it could be improved, reinforced, expanded, but the majority of the consortium will be in the stage 1 proposal. I hope I'm answering the question that was on specifically these two calls under cluster 6. One is on soil health, and the other one is on ecology, agroforestry.
Yeah, thank you, Laurent. I think that as a follow-up, there's also some questions were very much frequently asked question. Can African organizations coordinate the project or only participate as partner? And one attendee from Egypt also asked if institutions from Egypt can coordinate a project. Maybe Ahmed start and then Dr.
Yeah,
Laurent
okay.
can
For Egypt, I think yes. Yes, I think actually Egypt it will be the second country in Africa after Tunisia comes as associate country. So it's yes. So organizations from Egypt can coordinate project under Horizon Europe since 26 before. I think when they send the project now, they get acceptation, I think, later this year or the beginning of next year. And then taking 2026, I think it will be officially associate country. So Laurent, if you can add something about that.
Yes, first, let's explain what is association. This program, initially Horizon Europe, is a program developed by the EU 27 member states. But in the proposal, we open the possibility for other countries to associate. That means that they are going to have a special relation with the EU in the implementation of the program. They will contribute financially to the program, pro rata their GDP, and the entities from that country, a research organization, universities, companies, can participate with the same rights and obligations than any similar organization from a EU member state. So for some topics, we require the coordinator to be based in countries. So, but not so many. It's particularly the coordination and support actions. Most of the calls we have open can be coordinated by an entity from an African Union country not associated to the program. We do have example of projects currently coordinated by entities based in Sub-Saharan Africa. So it is possible. But because of the complexity of the program, many people prefer to be a partner rather than a coordinator. So you don't have to be responsible for the all management, administrative management, also of the finances. So because the coordinator is the one that received the funding and is then responsible for distributing the funding among the consortia participants and then provide all the reporting to the commission. So it's a bit of a cumbersome process, and many organizations do not wish to do this. You need support, administrative support. So some entities in Africa who have been participating already in a couple of projects have developed this capacity, are able to coordinate. But usually we are not encouraging individual entities who have never participated to start preparing themselves a proposal, because they can succeed, but it's quite an heavy process. And best advice is really to try to be invited as a participant and negotiate well the part of the work you will do in terms of funding to be received, because all your costs will be covered 100%. You don't need to find co-funding unless you are a large company. where, and it's also the case in the EU, the funding will only cover normally up to 70% of the cost. So you need to cover yourself part of the cost. But otherwise, a majority of the participants from Africa, they receive 100% of the funding as participant. And so that's the salaries, that's the equipment, that's travel, subsistence when you attend conferences, consumables, and it's overhead, which is normally a fixed amount, 25% on top of the rest. So we are trying to simplify as much as we can the financial allocation to make this as swift as possible and make sure that scientists spend time on science and not in writing report and filling forms, administrative forms.
Yeah, thank you very much, Laurent, for addressing very well the questions and very comprehensive answer to that. And again, I see one important question on the question in a chat box. I think this is also a question for most of the participants here. It says, as a professor and active partner in PRIMA projects based in Morocco, I would like to explore whether it is possible to extend our current PRIMA project consortium to include new partners from sub-Saharan African countries within the framework of the PRIMA Africa initiative. Could you please clarify if such an extension is eligible under this call, and what would be the recommended procedure or timeline to integrate these additional partners? The question is from Fuad Achemachem from Morocco. Any one of you, maybe my colleague, can reflect on this?
I think, Fana, I think, Fana, when we write a new proposal, you know that we have a core topic, so we need to read all details in this core topic. After that, of course, we can build such project based on results already done by another projects. We must do that. We must do that. So I think the response is yes, but it depends. We have a core topic, and we have other past projects. That's why I generally advise you to take some search in Cordis platform in order to see if in the same field there is some projects already funded by Europe, and we can see the results. And based on those results, we can start and build a new project. This is my response. I don't know if Laurent can add something.
Well, if I understood correctly the question, I think the answer is probably not, because we are now talking about a call with 25 new topics. So they are not kind of continuation or expansion of existing projects per se. But if you are running a PRIMA project and you want to expand the partnership and make sure that partners from sub-Saharan Africa can benefit, there are different ways you can do that. You can invite them or make a call, and your access may facilitate this. You organize a webinar to present the results, and we can promote it in sub-Saharan Africa for people working in that area. You can look at some of the funding opportunities that exist, which are bottom-up, where you can apply as not really a continuation, but an expansion and deepening of the research, where you invite more partners than just around the Mediterranean, if the research is of interest for those. And in this case, you can apply for instance, Marie Skłodowska Action Staff Exchange. There are calls every year, and that's bottom-up. So you can, through this, get funding, not to fund the researchers, but all the networking, training activities related to continuing this research for over 4 years. You can consider opening as well a new so-called Cost Actions, another program, which is co-funded by Horizon Europe, which is also bottom-up. There we also advertise cost and the links between cost and other funding opportunity that exist. There are calls every year for new cost actions. And some of the ongoing cost action may be addressing research questions similar to what your PRIMA project is. So some of the partners could try to join an existing cost action. So very open type of networking, scientific networking, which is fully bottom up. So those are examples of what could be done. But that particular call will not be just for continuing existing consortia. You maybe in one or two cases, but generally we are talking about building new consortium when we receive a proposal. Obviously, you need to build those consortium on existing links because you need to build trust between the different partners when they agree to come together and form a consortium. So they don't come from scratch, but the majority of the construction will be bringing people sometimes who've never worked together. They found themselves through the different function we heard about, through publications. They're invited to join. And so I hope I answered the question correctly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think, Ahmed, can we entertain some couple of live questions maybe from the participants?
Okay, we can do that. Just I want to say that we have received more than 47 questions in Slido.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have time to respond to all questions today in this session, but we will do that because we have already the recording of questions. We try to respond for each question, and we'll try to send you after, I think today or tomorrow, we will send you the final report. Okay, let's see if for who wants to ask live now, please raise your hand.
I think somebody wanted to ask a question in Spanish.
In Spanish.
Okay.
But which we will try to understand.
Yeah.
We should be able to understand or try to ask in English.
Okay, we have two questions. Yusufu and Jenny Siekra.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So I am from Cote d'Ivoire, specifically from Pelefo Koulibaly University. So we are working on some proposal for tick management and tick-borne disease management. So we are looking for partners from Europe. So how can we address this issue, and how can we proceed to get some funding and partner for that proposal that we are working on? That is my question.
Okay, thank you. I think we have already present some ways to look to a partner. Please use your Access portal, use the EFTA portal. We'll try to send you after the webinar all links, and you can use it in order to find partners. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Thank you. We have Dr.
Yusuf?
Yes. Yusufu.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for this session. My name is Yusuf Dauda. I'm from Benin Republic, but I'm currently based in Kenya. So I would like to ask a question about who is qualified to submit a project proposal. Is it like only exclusively from higher education institutions, or learning, or research institutions, or can also some organizations like NGOs get a chance to apply, or what's the projects that they can fall into, NGOs and other associations? Because for me, we have such organizations based in Benin, but we are working with the SMEs to improve to reduce their carbon footprint productions. that is affecting the climate and so on. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Laurent?
Well, I think we also answered that question earlier. It's proposals come from organizations, but they're obviously written by individual scientists. So in your case, understand that you are part of a university. So you can apply. You can apply if you're in a research organization. You can apply if you are in a company or in a startup company or an NGO. All those entities are eligible. You need to prove that you have a financial capacity that you can fulfill. You have to provide. You are a legally established entity. We don't send grant with individuals. It needs to be a legally recognized entity. So, and to look for partners, everything was explained how you can search with keywords for people from specific countries. You look at projects, you access project, and you when your areas of interest are not really covered by this specific call we are talking about today, there are a lot of other projects that are running, and there are other type of call which are more bottom up, where you can develop consortia and look for funding without having to answer a specific call for proposal, which has a limited scope and clear set of expected results. I think we can take
Thank you.
another question. Yeah.
Thank you.
Magda Rosenmuller.
Yes, hello. Thanks for this good session. I don't know if you might have already addressed this question. It's for the Gen AI. It specifies that it needs to have 3 different sites, but it doesn't say if these sites need to be in 3 different African countries. I would love to know about that. And just one more point for those that asked before. You can also look into the different scientific organizations, and there look for people that you have met in conferences from Europe. They all know about how to do European projects. So this is just a small side remark. But my question, the Gen AI. Thank you.
Well, I didn't write this call, so I will not try to interpret. But I would say if you stick to the wording, if it doesn't say 3 sites in 3 different African countries, that should be eligible. Obviously, a project which will be able to demonstrate the solutions in more than 1 country would be judged by the evaluators having a higher potential impact than one which will only be relevant for a small community in a single country, if it's language-based, for instance. So that's my answer. But as long as you respect, if they don't say 3 demonstration case in 3 different countries, but 3 different African settings, then it is eligible. It's for you to make the case about how relevant is that and what will be the impact beyond the project. That's my answer. Is that helpful?
Yeah, I asked the Spanish NCP and they didn't know because it was not precise. But I'm with you. It's always better to have more than 2 countries. Have 3 countries. Thank you.
By the way, from which institute are you?
I'm from IESE Business School in Barcelona, and we plan to work with Nigeria, Kenya, and probably Liberia.
Okay, thank you very much for joining.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you. Very fun.
Great.
Okay.
Now let's go to Jenny.
Yes.
Nicole, sorry for my pronunciation.
Yes,
No,
please
it's
go
all
on.
right.
Yeah,
yes. Okay, I'm Professor Janine Uwimana Nicole. I'm dually appointed at the University of Stellenbosch, the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, in the Department of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences. and the University of Rwanda as a professor in the School of Public Health. So I'm happy to be here. I might miss quite a number of the previous discussion because of another meeting, but I wanted just to ask one quick question. One, I see the call. We have a seed fund for MasterCard Foundation, and we are working on assistive technology in Africa. So we are currently doing the landscaping. And then after that, obviously, as we know, MasterCard Foundation, their goal is to create 300,000 jobs in Africa by 2030, of which we are 5 years. So there is one of the niche that we found in terms of gap in knowledge and in terms of as well of the technology in Africa, as we know, is assistive technology. So which AI can come in place. We know that in this field we can tap into that. But what I want to clarify or want some clarification on is the intellectual property and patents when you're talking about startups, who owns, what will transpire, or the technology, whatever solution will it be? How does EU or Euro, this funding platform handle such a kind of thing? Or as much as local countries do have, and this is a reality, we do have these policies in place, but sometimes they are not reinforced. But it's also, I think, in an equitable manner here as a scientist, the honors as well of the partner from Europe, the way Europe applies those policies when we partner, it should be equally also observed this end or sought this end as well. So I'm asking, is there anything as this platform funding, do you have any policy that guards the solution that will come through this joint kind of innovation for the startups? Rwanda has got a whole, we have Noskin, which is, I think, Swedish, the support from, that's where it's a hub for startup in Africa. But with the issues that we're having in my personal journey is that level of respecting this intellectual property and be equitable. I mean, indeed, we're getting funding, but respect me as a scientist and do the due diligence as well, like one will do in Europe. That's one. The last one is about the free calls. Is it possible to write a proposal and submit without necessarily having a call, for proposal? Thank you.
Maybe I can start.
I didn't get
the question. Thank you, Professor Janine. I think it's a very important question. Our program is a program for research and innovation. So it's not just about writing publications. It's really bringing the results to the market and develop solutions. So we are looking for companies to be part of this consortia, and particularly startup companies. So the general understanding when it comes to IPR is we leave it to the consortium to discuss this between themselves. Normally, at the beginning of the project, there is a so-called consortium agreement that describes the IP that the various partners currently have and are putting together for the sake of the project, how this will be governed, and how the protection of results of value will also be governed as the project progresses. Better to discuss this in advance than when someone starts patenting or filing for patent without informing the others. So our policy is that all those who participate in the creation of the knowledge of value that some of the partners would like to patent should be part of the filing of patent. Obviously, some may not be interested also to cover part of the cost because it's not free. We tend to cover some of this cost, by the way, as part of the grant, because we want
Great,
to make
thank
sure
you.
that the results are. And what you describe between maybe Africa and Europe is the same within a consortium made up of participants from different European countries. So we really expect protection of results and uptake of the results on the market, and respect of all those who contributed to the creation of value. So in my view, if you have some doubts, make sure that this is addressed from the very beginning when the proposal is selected, this is discussed, both what people bring in, if there are existing patents or licenses, and how the results will be protected.
Right.
Now, second question about writing a free call. We don't have really free calls in our program. We have this Africa initiative, which are set of topics which are problem-solving type of topics, where we are looking for solution. And then we have the open call through the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action, for instance, which are open, but they are still calls with deadline, with specificities to respect when you put up a proposal together with partners. And we don't take individual requests from individual researchers. You can, through the partner search, express interest and look for partners, and then the partners may help you to find a funding mechanism. I mean, we mentioned many at European level, but there are also sometimes funding schemes which are easier. Like, I understand you're based in South Africa. It could be South Africa and Netherlands, or South Africa and France, or Germany. So sometimes it's one entity from South Africa and one entity from Germany, and it could be two startups working together, depending on what is the goal of the funding schemes. But those may sometimes be easier to access, maybe a bit less funding, but still funding possibilities. So I encourage you to look around. EURACCESS is also trying to advertise these bilateral schemes when they're aware. We provide information with the deadlines, with the specificities as part of their newsletters. So become a member if you're not already a member of EURACCESS Africa. And
good enough. I'm a member of EURACCESS. That's why. So Stellenbosch, we have a platform. Thank you so much. This is very helpful. Just a final one, if you allow me. Is it possible? Can I ask the final one? Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. So I wanted to find out as well whether in the consortium, we have some consortium. Obviously, there is an intentionality for Stellenbosch to strengthen the South-to-South collaboration, right? And it's also supported. I mean, I attended at one of the EUREX conference. I think it was in Ghana with the Africa Academy of Science, right? So there was an emphasis on how I liked what transpired from that meeting. I was part of it. But I think we need you as a funder partner coming with funding as well to be more intentional to make sure that the consortium in Africa is also strengthened. Those, like, we could call them consortium or think tank. In other countries, they have think tanks, right? Rwanda, we do have one in the health. We are trying to get one for the health, for the health sector. But I know that other countries in Africa as well, some of them have this think tank. So how this funding helps to strengthen the South-to-South collaboration, but also bringing in Europe on board, but knowing that we are doing research that primarily is for impact for the continent as much as it might have a value for global, the global north, if I would allow to say so. Is this EUREX Fund Africa funding allow such? I don't know if you understand my question, because I want really to be whether it's an advocacy or to be assured that for some of us as young scientists, would want to see our continent, the type of research we are doing, it's a commodity for the continent first before it becomes the global one. So I don't know if this funding supports such a kind of thinking or idea, that type of thing. Thank you.
Lauren, maybe?
It's a kind of broad question. So yes, we support South-South cooperation with Europe because it's a European program and it's European taxpayer funding. So there needs to be a benefit for Europe for us to justify for this program, Horizon Europe, which is excellence-based. We have other funding which are more about capacity building coming from the EU external action funding, like for instance, this program on ARISE, African Research Initiative for Scientific Excellence, which is about supporting talented African scientists to stay in Africa, basically, and develop activities in Africa. So there is no EU benefit per se, not immediate for sure. It's not a requirement in the application for this program, but this program, Horizon Europe, it's one of the objectives is to strengthen European competitiveness. So there needs to be some benefit. Just by the way, there was a comment, Professor Janine, from someone in Strathmore University in Nairobi, a project DTDA, where they actually discuss and understand IPR issues from the very beginning, and they suggest to share their experience with you if you wish. And I'm very happy to see this sharing of best practice.
I will. If I can put
it's
my
in the
email.
chat. It's in the chat.
Yes,
You
I
will
can
see
put my
the
email.
email.
Oh, it's in the chat? Oh.
Yeah. So there is another question as I see the chat from Libya, and we are preparing a webinar at the end of October in Benghazi. It will be hybrid, but there will be a presentation online. So we are also thinking of you also in Libya. Don't be afraid. And I see that we have participants from all parts of Africa. Very happy, from east, west, center, south, north. Even some of the applicants from Europe who are joining us because they are interested to have clarification about the call. So I don't know. I mean, there are lots of questions, and I think at some stage we need to stop and we need to maybe remind you that we will produce frequently asked questions. There's already a draft which has been prepared by your Access colleagues. We will fine-tune the document and put it online, trying to address most of the questions, also where to find information, what are the links, where do you find NCPs, the questions that come often. And if you are not able to participate in this call, again, don't be sad because there will be other opportunities. We are preparing the next Africa Initiative that should be published by the end of the year, Africa Initiative 4, and that will be based on the budget for the last 2 years of Horizon Europe, whereas the Africa Initiative 3 is only based on the budget for 2025, so one budget year. So the volume available for the next call will be even more than double. Now, how much will be specifically targeting Africa? It's under assessment at the moment. We are not going to reveal any numbers, but you can expect, again, a high number of topics and budget earmarked for the cooperation with Africa. And as we are preparing the successor to Horizon Europe on the table, which has already been presented by the Commission, is again, a doubling of the funding for research and innovation. Obviously, this is not the final word. There will be discussion with the Council of Ministers and the Parliament, but we can expect a very significant increase for the next 7 years. So all the investment you make today with Africa Initiative 3, don't think it's wasted if you don't participate at the end of the day. There will be many more opportunities. And again, we thank you very much for your interest. I don't know, Ahmed, Fana, do you want to take a few questions?
Yes. Yes, just I want to say that we will keep the slide open today. Okay. Please don't hesitate after this session. Don't hesitate to ask your questions. We will read it and we'll try to answer it by tomorrow. And we'll try to make an article news to summarize all questions. And we will put our FAQ from Euraccess Africa about Horizon Europe, about Africa Initiative 3. And don't forget that Laurent said that we have, of course, Africa Initiative 4. So let's prepare ourselves for the next opportunities. I think we can take the last question from Khalid Madkour, I think from Egypt. Khalid, if you are
Yes.
there.
Hello,
Yes,
thank you
please,
so
Khalid.
much for this. Thank you so much for this informative session and also the previous webinars. I'm Khalid Madkour from the American University in Cairo, in Egypt. My question is, if my organization has passed the deadline for one specific call, and you have mentioned that there is an opportunity for one of the eligible consortiums to ask partners after phase one. Is there any way to find a way to be a partner from this, to reach out to these consortiums? We are already in the partner search announcement for the topic part in this call. Is there any way to reach out to them, to these consortiums? Thank you.
This two-stage process only applies for 2 of the 24 calls. One is on soil health and the other one on agroecology, to simplify it. And if you work in other areas, the question doesn't apply. And for those who will be selected after stage 1, we are not normally making this information widely available who has been selected. Only the representative from the member states and associated countries have access to this information. Maybe the NCPs can help them if they need to strengthen part of their consortium, find additional partners. But what you can do if you work in these areas is, again, express your interest through the partner search associated to those 2 specific topics, explain who you are, what is your expertise, what you intend to do as a member of the consortium. And if some of the coordinators are looking specifically for expertise, go through those expression of interest and respond directly to them, hoping that you can be of interest for building up the consortium. Otherwise, there will be other opportunities, not exactly the same topic. Normally, when we publish this type of calls, which are top-down, we rarely not select a proposal for some of the topics. It happens, in which case we reopen the topic a second time. But this is rare because we usually have too many high-quality proposals to choose from rather than having a lack of good proposals. So look also at the other ways to get funding through Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action, for instance, and other bottom-up schemes. And the schemes also that exist between individual EU member states and your country, Egypt in this case. I'm sure there are a lot of people based in Cairo who are also there to promote those bilateral calls for funding. Maybe we should close at this stage and remind everybody. So I don't know, Fana or Ahmed.
Yeah, Fana, you can take the stage for the final word.
Okay. I just to acknowledge Dr. Laurent Boucheroux, Minister Counselor for Science, Technology, Innovation at the EU delegation to the Africa Union, for initiating this meeting, and also for your valuable comments and responses that are really helpful for researchers who are trying to apply for Africa Initiative 3 and also for the Horizon Europe in general. And also thank my colleague Ahmed and all the participants for your nice questions, relevant questions. It was very interesting, and we still keep receiving your questions. And as already promised, we'll also send back with answers in a documentation. So I think we are very happy for this particular session, and thank you very much, all of you, for joining this important question and answering session. Now I hand over to my colleague Ahmed.
Okay, thank you, Fana, and I think Laurent just drew the final word, and we come to the end.
Okay, well, thanks to Professor Fana and Dr. Ahmed for organizing this call. I think the recording will be available. We will publish as well the frequently asked questions. It's still open for a couple of days. Some of the calls are closing actually tomorrow. So if you are preparing something, remember, I mean, it's very strict. If you are pushing the button 1 minute after the deadline, it's not going to be eligible. So we are very strict in this, and we are trying to be transparent and provide as much information as possible. And Euraccess Africa is maybe our best vehicle for providing information to individual scientists and organizations. Obviously, we cannot be physically everywhere. We are trying to organize a few events, hybrid, in person. Otherwise, we mostly operate through webinars because that's a good way to reach out to many people at the same time. And we thank you very much for joining today. We hope that this was useful. And remember, if you missed the train of the Africa Initiative 3, there will be other trains coming later. And we wish you all the best. And thank you again for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, all of you.
Thank you. Bye. That was very insightful. Next time.